just weren't getting any altitude.
I see the treetops just starting to come at us.
He came over the radio and said, "Brace for the trees."
I thought, wow, I can't believe we're in a plane crash. Nathan and I have been friends since probably preschool.
We have a whole group of 4 couples. Our kids are all friends, and it's like siblings almost.
We'd been interested in going up in a small plane, and we knew Tal's dad had a plane.
I always knew his dad to be a pilot. He was a helicopter pilot for a long time.
He flew in Vietnam and National Guard. Ever since I've been a little kid, he and I have flown in these backwoods country airstrips. And so they'd been asking me if my dad would take him, and of course he loves going on these trips.
There's no tower, there's no other planes out, there was just us. It's a grassy field.
We checked out the plane, obviously a lot older plane.
We're just kind of filming the event, you know, an exciting experience for each of us. It was a beautiful day, but yeah, it was hot.
Which I didn't know was going to be a problem. Whenever I take off in a plane, I don't know why, but for some reason I count to 30. And I timed it out. 30 seconds is about as long as it takes to get off. I just remember thinking, oh, that's longer than 30 seconds. Then I remember thinking, that's a lot longer than 30 seconds.
The higher in elevation you are and the higher the temperature is, the less dense the air is. The wing may not be able to produce sufficient lift to actually lift the airplane off the ground.
We finally start to get a little air, then we came back down, the wheels touched back down. It finally took off and we finally started getting some altitude.
When we eventually did get off, I didn't even really think anything of it.
We're good to go.
But we stayed really low. We just weren't getting any altitude. Still didn't really think too much. I just thought he was kind of coming down to show us, you know, buzzing the treetops type of thing, until he came over the radio and said, "Brace for the trees."
As we were flipping over, the pilot left. His head went out the window.
The first thing that I hear is actually a little bit of moaning. It was from Les. There was blood in the cabin. We didn't know who was bleeding.
It was like a shredded tin can.
We're upside down on the ground.
The plane was dripping fuel. On the pilot side, that door was open. So Les gets out first, and then we all get out. I checked out Tal, and Tal was pretty good, and I checked out Nathan. He was good at first.
Are you okay, Alec? I'm just barely coming to. I'm just barely seeing.
It wasn't too long before we realized Nathan was struggling with his memory.
How long ago did we crash? I don't remember anything.
He was asking me the same questions over and over.
That's when I saw that my dad was bleeding. His whole lower jaw was just kind of hanging there.
So none of us had cell phone service.
Couldn't communicate. My dad's bleeding a lot and didn't know how we were going to necessarily stop the bleeding. This was serious. You kind of think, wow, this could be it.
I thought we were going to be stranded. There was a couple who happened to be driving down one of the fire access roads.
As I ran towards the plane, I didn't think it was survivable. We were a long ways from any paved road, so access was going to be difficult.
They didn't have any phone service either.
I actually did see a Forest Service truck on the distant dirt road. They were able to call for a medical helicopter.
There wasn't room for life flight to land, so guys went out there with the chainsaws and
Started clearing trees. Helicopter came in, got Les in the helicopter. Also Nathan.
By all accounts, from people who know, we're just totally lucky. That's what it comes down to. Just 4 guys who are just lucky to be alive.
I have 8 plates across here. I have 8 more plates that are up in here. I have about 6 plates that are down here on the bottom.
He couldn't talk because his jaw was broken, but he wrote out, how is Alec, how is Tal, how is Nathan? We said, everybody's okay. You kind of saw this sense of relief.
I'd still fly with them if he had a plane now.
My wife probably wouldn't be into it, but I'd probably make sure that we're a little bit newer plane.
It made me more grateful for my husband. The little things, you know, the dirty socks on the ground or whatever, it doesn't matter so much.
We were tight before, but I think it's made us even tighter.
Surviving, it's, escaping death. I do think of it as an experience that makes me realize how important life is.